What's up, everybody? We are back with a special edition of Rasslin Around and Mike, where we are going to break down SummerSlam Saturday.
SummerSlam Saturday, night one. SummerSlam just got off the air. Ryan, what did you think of SummerSlam?
I thought night one, was solid. I thought, it was a solid card, especially the opening match with Liv Morgan and Io. I thought, that was a great match. One of Liv's better matches on the main roster, and Io just proving again why she's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. And
Right.
yeah, overall, I thought SummerSlam Night One was good. I thought they were really kind of only one bad match amongst them.
Yep.
But aside from that, they were all pretty good, and I thought a great way to kick off SummerSlam weekend.
Yep. Sorry about the distraction. You go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so I thought it was a great way to kick off SummerSlam weekend. So we had 6 matches tonight. We'll have 6 matches tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow on WrestleMania Sunday.
Exactly. Thank you guys for whoever's viewing on TikTok right now. Night one of SummerSlam just ended. Give us your reaction of what you thought of night one of SummerSlam. I only caught, 2 matches?
You caught the
Yeah.
WWE Championship in the main event, but you listened on WWE Radio.
Listened on WWE Radio, which is available for everyone to listen to if you have a satellite XM subscription, which it was delayed about maybe like almost
you said like 5-6 minutes?
Because I remember when I got off of work, the what match was it? It was the
Was it the 6-man tag?
Might have been. Yeah, it was a 6-man tag between LA Knight, Solo, yeah. Solo and was
the Bloodline.
The Bloodline.
Royce Keys.
Yeah, Royce Keys. So you had texted me who had won, and I was like, dude, this match is like barely getting started. And so they had a little bit of a delay on the Sirius XM feed, and it was Vic Joseph and Booker T that were on, and Vic Joseph is great. I can't say enough about Vic Joseph. He's done an incredible job at getting better at commentating. He's obviously probably going to take over whenever Michael Cole retires. But Booker T, man, if Booker T isn't on any other commentary, it'll be a day too soon because all he does now is, oh yeah, that's literally all what Booker T says now.
That's his shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, SummerSlam. Oh, yeah.
That's why I said he's probably really bummed out that Stephanie Vaquer was not on the show.
Right.
Because we know how he reacts when Stephanie Vaquer comes out, especially when she hits the Devil's Kiss.
The Devil's Kiss. Well, exactly. But yeah, I ended up coming in time to watch CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes and then the main event. But give us a breakdown of what happened. What was the first match?
Yeah, so the opening match was the Women's World Championship between Io Sky and Liv Morgan. And what a match it was to start the show. It definitely got the crowd into it. The action was great. Liv looked really good, but again, that's just because Io makes anyone she's in the ring with look good. This was by far better than their Night of Champions match.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of I mean, I don't know if I would say a shock. I know for me, I was picking Io because I totally thought Io would win because I thought there would be some shenanigans, in which there were. The Judgment Day did come out, but they were pretty much a non-factor most of the match. And so Liv ended up retaining, but it was a good match. The crowd was into it. It was a solid. I think like they went 20 minutes, maybe a little less than 20.
Yep.
But no, yeah, great match to kick off the show. Liv Morgan is still Women's World Champion, and we'll be curious to see who her next challenger will be.
Right.
And I'm sure we'll hear more about that on Monday.
Yeah. Look at Stephanie Vaquer. I think she's due to come back anytime now, so I think they're probably going to roll that back out, that program. I think, Stephanie Vaquer coming back into the program on Monday Night Raw, I think that's probably going to be the next step for Liv Morgan.
Yeah, or if it's possible that the Judgment Day implodes, but we've been saying that for a long time.
Right.
And it definitely feels like, the Judgment Day isn't going to end anytime soon.
Right.
But I feel like if something happens, I feel like it's going to be Roxanne that gets turned on or Roxanne turns.
Right.
Especially because Raquel Rodriguez just won the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan is Women's World Champion. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something like well, we have titles, but you don't.
Right, exactly. I thought that the women in the Judgment Day were going to upload today at SummerSlam. Not the case, but I think it's on the verge of happening.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on the verge. I think it's Roxanne that's going to be the one that gets turned on,
Right,
or like I said, she's the one that turns
right,
babyface, and she's going to come out of this, having a singles run, being a babyface, possibly being, women's intercontinental champion, because maybe she goes after Raquel, and you know,
yeah,
Roxanne ends up winning her first singles championship.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Also, where do you think Io Sky goes after this?
Man, it's tough because Io is, in my opinion, the best women's wrestler on the women's roster,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just a little shocking to see like her not come out victorious, especially because like where does she
Right,
go from here? Hopefully she still remains, being in the title picture. Hopefully she's still in serious like contention. Um, but hopefully they keep her out so it's not like she's trapped in the Judgment Day vortex,
right.
like how we have the whole Bloodline vortex. So hopefully that's not the case with Io Sky, but I wouldn't be surprised if Io. Also, it's not like she's
Oh,
trapped in the Judgment Day vortex.
sorry, I just went live on YouTube right here. Let me get out. Let me mute that for everyone here.
With Io Sky, but I wouldn't be surprised
There we
if
go.
Io. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if Io is still involved with, or maybe Io takes some time off because she did just recently get married.
Right.
So maybe Io take some time off, to go on her honeymoon, whatever it is. Maybe she takes some time off to heal up
Mm-hmm.
and reset. Because I feel because Io's been a workhorse as well.
Right.
So I think that's what's next for Io. Is she either remains in the title picture, whether it's the Intercontinental title or Women's World title, or perhaps she takes some time off.
Exactly. I didn't do it properly, guys. For everyone, I just went live on YouTube. We are talking WWE SummerSlam Night 1. Guys, give us your reactions. For everyone on TikTok, you have been here live. We're still on. We're still here on TikTok. Give us your reactions of what's been going, of what you thought of
Yeah,
WWE SummerSlam.
and share what you think was match of night one.
Right, right, um, right. So then you go to the 6-man tag.
Yeah, you go to the 6-man tag with Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys, and L.A. Knight versus the Bloodline, the Usos, and Jacob Fatu. Um, of course, the Usos get the pop. The fans were eating, but I noticed they weren't eating as much as before. Um, but yeah, so they all made their entrances. And then Solo came out to a pretty good pop, and LA Knight still getting the loudest pops out of anybody.
Right.
But they're too scared to push that man.
They are. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's like I said previously that I told you, WWE hates when you get over on your own. They
Right.
do not like when you get over organically. It's either you get over because of them, or there's pretty much no point in you being over at all. So
Right.
hopefully this leads to LA Knight leaving the Bloodline Vortex.
Yeah.
And it begs the question on, does he go after the world title, whoever is champion after tomorrow, whether it's Roman or Seth? Does LA Knight get back into Money in the Bank? Does he finally win it? Because it feels like he's been in it 3 years in a row. He's always been the favorite, and so it's curious to see how that'll turn out, to see where LA Knight goes next. Be interested to see where Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa go next.
Yeah.
Especially because it looks like Solo is going to be sticking as a babyface for a little while.
Yeah. Very interesting.
It's because he's been doing some of his best work. He looks very confident now. Charisma. The fans are loving him. He got more fans to eat with him than the fans did with Jay.
Yeah.
Tonight, because he mocked Jay. He did the whole run it back thing with Jay's music. He started eating, and the fans were doing it with him. So it's great to see Solo finally, being able to do his own thing. See him being confident, and really not being like a background character, because I felt like in the Bloodline that's all he was. He was just the background character.
Right.
He was the enforcer. So it's nice to see him be, coming out of his shell. But But as to where this goes, I don't know what's next. Well, it'll also be interesting to see how Roman will react because they lost and didn't get the job done.
Very true. Look, I think Solo Sikoa has a lot of charisma. I think Solo Sikoa can be a really big breakout star. I think Solo Sikoa is on the verge. It's very interesting to see the dynamics of Solo Sikoa because at first when he debuted, he was just the silent killer, right? Like he didn't talk, no facial expressions, really only like a mean mugging facial expressions, and that's it. But that's like Solo Sikoa now has transformed into somebody that's I mean, like look at him, he's really over with the crowd. The pew 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 thing.
Yeah,
Beep, beep.
he's his own character now.
Right,
He's not, and like I said, he's not a background character anymore.
right,
So it's just great to see him getting out of his shell, doing his thing, and it's good to see that like we knew there was more to Solo, and now it feels like they're letting him let loose a little bit. It feels like he's not on a leash
right,
as much as he was before,
right.
and so yeah, and then in a surprise, the baby faces went over. LA Knight got the pin,
Yeah.
which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight got the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so like I said, it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. And also where Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa go
Mm-hmm.
from here. What does this mean for the bloodline?
Right.
So yeah, I think we'll find out more on Raw in terms of the direction this is headed.
Right. Exactly. Um, then you go to the six
No,
women.
no,
Oh no.
no. Gunther versus Nick
Right.
Aldis.
My apologies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's no, it's
Yeah.
okay. I know you were watching on the radio, so
Yeah.
it was probably a little harder to keep up,
Right.
compared to watching it live. But yeah, so we got Gunther and Nick Aldis next. Gunther came out first, and then Nick Aldis came out. And Nick Aldis came out to a pretty good ovation. He got
Yeah. Looking
he got
jacked
a
as
pop.
ever
Oh
too.
yes, yeah. Nick Aldis looked like a wrestler. Like you would think like, oh, there's no way this guy hasn't wrestled in 3 years.
Right.
You would think this guy's been wrestling weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so they came out. It was a slow paced match, but that's understandable. Because it's Nick Aldis' first match in 3 years. It's his WWE in ring debut.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely had the crowd behind him, and it was cool to see that Mickey James, his wife, and his son were at ringside, and
Yep.
they were shown. So it was nice to see them have a moment after the match.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: Nick Aldis, he looked good.
Great.
He put up a good match. He ended up losing, which I do think was the best decision because he didn't need
Right.
the win, and this isn't gonna hurt him at all. But hopefully this means we see Nick Aldis as a wrestler more because he
Right.
looked good out there. He got a good reaction. He put Gunther over, and of course Gunther's a safe wrestler to work with.
Right.
You can trust him to put on a safe match and have a good match.
Right.
And that's what this was. This was a good match. It wasn't a long match, nothing special to it. But yeah, Nick Aldis looked good, right winner. And so I'm hoping this means Nick Aldis gets to wrestle more.
Look, this is just the start of Nick Aldis's in wrestling career with WWE. I mean, look, yeah, obviously he's only 39 years old too, which if you think about it, that's still
young.
Kind of young.
And for some wrestlers, that's their prime.
Right.
And that's the prime for some wrestlers because wrestlers usually hit their prime when they're older.
Right. And so this is just a start for Nick Aldis. One match is going to lead to two is going to lead to three. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a full-time wrestler going forward or if he's just going to go back to the general manager role, which, it's quite possible they might.
Yeah, especially because they said temporarily he's relieved of his duties for the match. It'll be curious to see if on SmackDown if he's just going to come back, out as GM.
Now, let me ask you, if Nick Aldis were to transform into being a full-time wrestler, who would you want to take place as the SmackDown general manager?
See, that's a tough one because I feel like there's a lot of good options out there. But it also depends because when you look at it, when you're a GM, you pretty much have the same schedule as the wrestlers. You're full-time, you're on the road.
Yep.
I think for me, I think it would be cool to have like AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
I think that'd be a good choice, but the thing is, I don't know if he wants to do the traveling because he wants to spend time with his family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it makes me wonder is, and then you also have William Regal who's
Sure.
back.
Yeah.
You could put because he was NXT general manager.
Yeah.
So you could even put William Regal in that role.
Yeah, that'd be another great choice because Regal's been the general manager before on Monday Night Raw years back, and so
Yeah. So it
and
was
Regal was the commissioner of the WWF 20 some years ago. Who could forget Commissioner William Regal?
So that's an option that I think it'd be cool to see AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
William Regal isn't a bad choice. And then if they were to bring back someone, there. I remember there were rumors. I'm pretty sure you read these rumors, and we talked about it briefly. That Teddy Long was going to come back to
No,
be
nobody wants to see
GM.
Teddy Long.
No disrespect to Teddy Long, but he had his time. But yeah, if you ask me, I think AJ Styles or William Regal would be a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe even seeing a wrestler now, kind of maybe they're take a step back, like not that it'd be official, but I could even see someone like the Miz fitting into that role.
Absolutely. The Miz, he could definitely slot in. I think he'd probably be like he wouldn't be as intimidating. Like Nick Aldis, like nobody although Nick Aldis did eat some RKO's and did get physical, he was kind of an intimidating force. The Miz would probably be like a pushover
Yeah,
GM.
and the thing is, I want a GM that's like doesn't take that you
Right.
can't just put because even Adam Pearce, he's not afraid to get in your face.
Right.
So I think it's cool to see that both GMs are like they're not pushovers because we have seen GMs before that are like pushovers. Like look at the whole thing with Teddy Long with like Undertaker
Yeah.
literally kidnapping him and forcing him to like give him the Hell's Gate signature
Exactly.
back.
Yeah. But yeah, so good showing for Nick Aldis. Gunther gets the win. Where do you think Gunther goes from here?
I think Gunther is still going to be stayed in the WWE Championship picture.
Yeah.
Especially because he still has some beef with Sammy. Now he has a beef with Finn because he attacked Finn last night on SmackDown. So I think Gunther still remains in the WWE title picture, but we know he won't be number one contender because that match will be tomorrow. Actually, we find out the number one contender for the WWE Championship tomorrow night.
Exactly. Again, let's shout out everybody here on TikTok. Tina, you got invite Betty, Kenneth Lepart. Who else was on here? Kedat, I don't even know how to say it. Kedatu Sal, Bernadette, the Sass, Mohammed Sayek.
Yeah.
Let's see if anybody's on YouTube here. 1 second. I don't think anybody's here on YouTube. That's fine. We're still going live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody that's here. But going forward, after that,
after that match it was the 6-woman tag,
which I picked up the Wingstop because we ate Wingstop while watching this PLE. I picked up the Wingstop. The match had started, and then when I got back, I already literally it was like 15 seconds because they had my to-go order.
The match was over.
The match was over. Yeah.
Yeah. This was what you call like the bathroom break.
Yeah.
Match, and I don't mean it to disrespect the woman, but that's really what this was.
Yeah.
It was the bathroom break match. Mm-hmm. Fatal Influence gets the win, which I think was the right call. Putting the young people over.
Right.
And then it's something that I think was kind of obvious when this match was announced. The Bellas turned heel. Yeah. They turned on Paige.
Yeah.
And I think this inevitably is leading to AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bellas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, because we saw this.
Hey,
we saw this, we saw this 11 years ago.
It's 2014 all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. So, literally we saw this match 12 years ago.
Oh, man.
So
they'll probably have that at, WrestlePalooza?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, I felt like it was obvious the Bellas were going to turn heel. They both do better as heels, and it's clear this is the last run for both of them.
Right, absolutely.
Like I said, I also would not be surprised if the Bellas get the tag team titles again.
Right.
Not again because Nikki was hurt.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bellas get the tag titles and eventually drop it to Paige and AJ Lee or whoever. Mm-hmm. But the match served its purpose. It put over Fatal Influence, and it just sets up the storyline. It sets up what's next for Paige and the Bellas.
Right.
So this match didn't really do anything. It was a quick match. Mm-hmm. Right winners. So that's really all there was.
Exactly.
And then next we had the WWE Championship match with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, which was a surprise because earlier WWE announced that it was the main event, and then all of a sudden this morning it
Yeah.
wasn't the main event.
Look,
So obviously something changed
I know what
probably within
changed.
the last 24 hours.
I know exactly what changed.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar told WWE that this is it. I don't have to speculate. You don't have to go to the dirt sheets. You don't have to go to Mike Johnson or Sean Ross Sapp to find out the scoop. Use your brains, ladies and
But
gentlemen.
also it's one of those things. Brock either goes first or he's last. There's no in between.
But because I firmly believe this. Now, obviously, I wasn't there, so no, I don't know 100%. Oh, I don't know 100%, but I think Brock Lesnar went into this telling Triple H that this is it for him, and they gave him the main event spot.
Especially because it's in his home state, it's in his hometown.
Right.
But yeah, so anyway, getting to the CM Punk Cody Rhodes match. Cody Rhodes came out, like WrestleMania style, came out with the mask, but it was like Street Fighter style, came out with the
Right.
hair. The mask actually looked really sick.
Right.
Um, and then CM Punk came out with his entrance, and so it was just really,
Yep.
them making their entrance, them getting their reactions. The match was slow for the most part, and then it picked up kind of
Right.
towards the latter end of the match. I thought the match was good, but I also thought it could have been better,
Mm,
especially because it was kind of built up and hyped up to be
yeah.
better. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a stipulation would have helped this match.
It would have, but this match, I feel like maybe if it had gone to the main event, maybe things would have been a little bit different. But since I feel like it was taking a backseat to Brock and Ova,
Yeah,
maybe they changed a few
and
things.
that's what I mean. I feel like something happened because I felt like say if you had someone like say if Cody or Punk was going to turn heel, there's no way it wasn't going
Right.
to be the main event because you would
Yeah.
do that if it was the main event.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I was like, something had to have changed within the last 24 hours, for pretty much the two matches to to essentially switch places. It was a good match. We finally saw the return of Randy Orton. We haven't seen him since WrestleMania. He came RKO'd Cody Rhodes. CM Punk hit him with another go to sleep and got the pin.
Hmm.
Which kind of it's kind of a shock because you would think Randy wants the WWE Championship, so you would have thought he would have gone after Punk or gone
Hmm.
after both of them.
Right.
But it's clear that this Randy Cody feud isn't over yet.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so, but I will admit it's going to be kind of weird to see him feuding without a championship
Yeah.
because I feel like because kind of Randy's main motivation is I need number 15,
Also, too, this takes Cody Rhodes out of the title picture.
and this is pretty much the first time since like he came back to the company that he's going to be out of the title picture
Yeah.
because he's been in it pretty much since WrestleMania 39.
Hmm.
So yeah, it'll be interesting, but I think it'll be good for Cody. It'll be good to get him out and a little refresh, but it also gives us new and fresh opponents for CM Punk.
Yeah.
And the question is, where does CM Punk go next? So there's a lot of potential matchups.
Right.
You have Sami Zayn, you have Finn Balor, and there's the rumor. I don't know if y'all heard the rumors that Kevin Owens is actually in Minnesota this weekend.
Well, dude, there's no rumors. He was there. Like,
Yeah, he was there. He literally
yeah.
popped up at
Yeah.
SummerSlam Takeover. So we were even speculating like, oh, is he going to come out during this match? So now it begs the question: is he
Right.
going to come out? Is he helping Sammy tomorrow?
There's definitely quite the possibility of that for sure. Definitely quite the possibility, and I think that with Kevin Owens, I think his return is imminent. It's been what, like a year and a half for him.
Yeah, because he's been out since before WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
But it's great to see that KO's back because I remember there were concerns that might be it for him. So it's great to see that he'll be able to be back, especially because Kevin Owens he's a very dynamic superstar. He can do it all. You need him to be a bad guy, he can be a bad guy. You need him to be a good guy, he's a good guy.
Right.
He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. So getting him back is going to be huge for the SmackDown roster. It's desperately needed.
Yeah.
So it'll be curious to see if Kevin Owens gets involved tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then when he does come back, it'll be curious to see where he goes. Is he going to be a babyface? Is he going to be a heel?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I thought a good match overall between Cody and Punk. They had definitely some high spots. The plot of this match, was was to work Cody to work over CM Punk's knee, which they did effectively on that. Punk had a botched. What was it? Not what was it? Moonsault.
Yeah, he missed and you notice they didn't replay it
No, they
either.
did. That's what I told you.
They
Yeah,
didn't
if they
replay it for
botch
that
it, yeah.
reason. Yeah, they didn't replay it for that
Unless you're
reason.
top dollar, you know,
Flop dollar, yeah.
flop dollar,
But
yeah,
yeah,
they're not gonna do that to Punk.
yeah, they're not gonna do that to him. But again, you can't discredit Punk for that. It happens in wrestling.
Yeah,
Everybody experiences it at some point.
right.
But it's still a solid match between the two. Randy's back, which got a really loud pop from the crowd. So it's good. It's good to have Randy back.
Mm-hmm.
Because WWE is definitely missing something, and I think Randy's gonna help with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's good. It's good to see Randy back, and then I guess now we can dig into the main event.
Well, I just think going lastly on Randy, he obviously was suffering through a bad back injury. He took from April all the way till now off. And the injury must have been devastating. So I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's healthy, and let's see. Hopefully, he can remain healthy.
Yeah, especially because the original plan was for Randy to beat Cody,
Right.
unless something happened with his back, which makes me think so. Something definitely happened with his back.
Right. Yeah. So then the main event, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and I told you it was kind of curious. It was interesting because usually they bring the cell down and then they walk through the door, but
Yeah.
they kept the cell up, and they made their entrance normally, which is kind of interesting because
Yeah.
I don't remember them ever doing that. They usually always go through the cell door,
Right.
and then usually whoever comes in last, like for dramatic effect, like they shut the door behind them.
Right.
Um, so of course Oba made his entrance, getting a loud reaction from the crowd, and
Everybody was doing the Oba
yeah,
strut.
Oba strut, and then when Brock came out, that's probably one of the louder Brock pops I heard.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense because that's literally his home state. That's his hometown. That's where he was born and raised. It was a good match. They didn't go outside. They didn't go on top, which is fine because not every Hell in a Cell match needs to go to the top. You don't need to do Undertaker Mankind style every time.
Right.
It was a good match. I think it was the best of their three.
Yeah.
Definitely the longest of their three because it went like 15 minutes. I think
it did.
Yeah. Because their WrestleMania match was, I think, was like 5 minutes.
Right.
Their Clash of the Lily match was like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So this was pretty much like longer than both. Literally, this was longer than both their matches
like
combined.
15 minutes.
Yeah, like 15.
Yeah.
So this match was literally longer than both their other matches combined.
Yeah, exactly. And so look at these two guys. They it was like what Big E said, two big meaty men
slapping meat.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, I think it was what's going on with TikTok right here? I don't even know what's going on. Cancel. Here we go. Two big men slapping meat, like Big E says. And that's exactly what it was. These two guys were two bulls in there in Hell in a Cell going at it. Brock Lesnar picked up Oba for 3 F5s right away. No, it was German suplexes, then was it 3 F5s?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Oba, got back up from the two of them kicking out of the 3 F5s. And then we saw a table spot. We saw Brock like went full force with the stairs on Oba.
Right.
He chucked that like at his face.
Yeah, he did.
But no, it was great to see. And then we saw Brock rip the ring apart. He revealed the wood.
Yeah.
And something that I never thought I would see. I'd never envisioned this on my wrestling bingo card in 2026. Brock Lesnar hit a tombstone pile driver. He did this, and he even stuck his tongue out for the pin. He did the
Now here's why I think he did this, because if you remember, early on in Brock Lesnar's career, after he won the title from The Rock at SummerSlam in 2002, the Brock Lesnar's first opponent after winning the title was The Undertaker. And they had a couple matches, they went Hell in a Cell after, and The Undertaker put Brock Lesnar over, I believe, in 2 straight matches. And that really helped the career of Brock Lesnar. That really put him on the map as this guy is legit. So I think that homage that you watched Brock Lesnar do to The Undertaker, for The Undertaker, when he ripped away the padding from the ring, exposed the wood, picked Oba up for a tombstone. I think that was a homage to the Undertaker because the Undertaker really helped a young Brock Lesnar in his career.
Yeah, no mod, but also I think it's a respect too, because I'll say it again. I'm sure you can say it again. The Undertaker is probably the most respected man in the entire business.
Right.
Like, if you get the respect of the Undertaker, you know you're doing something right.
Right.
And you know the Undertaker is probably someone Brock has immense respect for.
Yeah.
So that I feel like this was also a sign of respect to the Undertaker.
And then this is what what the Undertaker did for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is now doing for Oba Femi.
Yes, he's giving back to the business. He's making Oba look like $1,000,000. He's showing that like Oba's the next big thing. Like he is
well, at the end of it, Michael Cole said the next big thing
is here, and Brock even got the mic. He says, "This is the future.
Yeah,
I'm the past." So Brock gave Oba his flowers, it's very, very rare to see Brock break character.
Right.
Like he does it. It's extremely rare to see him do it.
Yeah.
He did the same thing for Cody Rhodes 3 years ago at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what I mean. Brock clearly sees something in Oba.
I thought they were going to do more in this match in terms of blood, but it's fine.
It was fine for what it was. You can tell the crowd loved it, which I think was the main thing.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I was saying earlier that I feel like WWE pitched for Brock for Gunther to beat Brock.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Brock was like, no, give me Oba.
Right.
Like I see something in Oba. I want Oba.
Right.
I'll put him over.
Yep.
And so and Brock is somebody that he definitely deserves the right to do that. He has the right to pick his opponents. He has the right to do what he wants. He's earned that right. He's earned that respect.
Exactly.
So Oba's the future.
Right. Absolutely. So there you go. That was night one of SummerSlam. What did you guys think of SummerSlam night one in Minneapolis? If you had to give it a grade, what would you give it?
I'd give it an A. I give it an A. I thought all the matches were solid. Like I said, the only dud to me was the women's tag match. But yeah, I thought it was solid, and I like that it was all wrestling. I like that there were there wasn't any talking in between.
No, look, I think WWE really learned a lesson in terms of how they presented WrestleMania night one, and it was a big turnoff for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, especially because it felt like there was a long break in between matches. So I'm saying it literally felt like it was one match into the next, the next. Of course, you had an ad break, which is fine. It's okay to have ad breaks or little breaks in between where there's no wrestling.
Yeah,
that's fine. But it really felt like a step up from WrestleMania, and I definitely think. Right now, SummerSlam is blowing WrestleMania out of the water.
Yeah.
So it'll
night one at least.
Yeah, at least night one.
Two.
Night two is a whole different ball game.
We can read off the night two card. Yeah. If you had it memorized.
Yes. So I do.
Okay.
It's Penta and Chad Gable. I'm not saying in the specific order. Yeah. I just know these are matches. Penta and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. It's Baron Corbin and Trick Williams for the United States Championship. It's the interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match with Charlotte Flair, Lash Legend, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, and
you say Lash Legend?
Yeah, I said Lash.
But
Lash
you said
Legend.
A surprise. There's going to be a surprise.
Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill.
Okay.
It's a five. Yeah. It's a 5-woman tag match. It's been advertised as a 5-woman tag match, but that's why I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if something goes down.
Yeah.
So you have that match. That's 3, and then you have, of course, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Finn versus Sammy,
and then you have the Human Money's on a Pole match. Dan Housen versus Dominic Mysterio. Yeah. Though I wouldn't be surprised if that's the match that kicks off the show tomorrow night.
Human Money's on the Pole. This is straight out of 1999, 2000 WCW, where they had Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Yeah, so that's the card. The card is not as great, is not as good as tonight's card was, but again, it has you never know with these things either.
You never know. Exactly.
You never know. I definitely think the Intercontinental Championship match is going to be a great match.
Right.
The World Heavyweight Championship is going to be a great match. I feel like the interim women's ladder match is going to be an interesting one.
Yep.
So exactly. Tomorrow is definitely going to be an interesting show. Especially it'll be curious to see how the performances are compared to tonight.
Right, exactly. But let us know what you guys think of night one of WWE SummerSlam. We'll be back tomorrow night after night 2 of SummerSlam. We'll be back on YouTube. We'll be back on TikTok. And of course, if you guys missed this our live stream, it'll be up in the archives for you to listen to in our podcast. Again, find us all over social medias on X, on, obviously this is TikTok, obviously this is YouTube, on Instagram. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Lace Them Up Sports. This is the guys from Rasslin with Ryan.
And Mike.
And Mike.
Yes.
Exactly. I always, forget to add my name to it.
Yeah.
But make sure to catch our weekly podcast every single week.
And definitely, tune in tomorrow because, like you said, we'll be recapping night 2, and we'll recap SummerSlam as a whole as well.
Exactly. All right. That'll do it.
So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys next time.